Good morning. Thank you for joining us at 7 o'clock. I'm Tracey McCain.
I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. A lot to talk about from overnight, but first, let's get the check on the forecast, because if you're heading out this morning to travel for Thanksgiving, you need to know what to expect. Jill Gilardi is in with the details.
Hey, Jill. I'm trying to not think about the animals inside story, okay?
Well, I'll give you the spoiler alert. They're okay.
They're okay. All right. I can now focus on weather again.
Yes.
And yeah, this morning, while most areas are fine, there's going to be a few patchy areas of black ice, even in maybe your driveway, things like that. So just be very cautious. We're seeing out there otherwise just dry roads, but there could be a few icy spots. I don't want you caught by surprise. We don't need any injuries before we get Thanksgiving, and a lot happening, right? Thanksgiving, well, we got a rainstorm and maybe a little snow across the far northwest corner, and certainly travel impacts and outdoor activity impacts. First alert weather day for that. Then a blustery and chilly weekend ahead. Right now, just a few high-level clouds. I did see the crescent moon this morning. Check out this view. It looks like there's snow in the ground. That's all a heavy frost, and so that is what we're seeing in the yards, the grassy surfaces. But again, there could be a few patchy areas where you could run into some black ice. 32 degrees in Hartford. It's in the 20s, though. Look at that, 25 in Norwich, so some chilly spots. Meanwhile, New Haven, an oddball 43 degrees. All right, we'll take that, right? So today, not bad at all. Once we get a little bit warmer, that frosty threat and black ice threat goes away. Great travel weather, but it becomes problematic for travelers tomorrow pretty quickly. So we're timing out the rain, what areas could see a little bit of snow, how much of all that, and then, of course, we're looking beyond at your next 7 days. I'll have more coming up a little bit later. Caitlin?
All right, thanks, Jill. Good morning, everyone. First alert here. We've picked up 2 additional incidents here, one in Killingly and one in Norwalk. So let's get to the details here on Killingly. 395 northbound between exits 37 and 38. Left lane there is closed. Again, that's a crash reported in Killingly at 395 northbound. In Norwalk, we are dealing with 95 southbound between exits 17 and 16. So right where we're seeing some of that construction set up, the right and center lanes there are closed. DOT is reporting that's due to a crash. Also dealing with a road closure here in Summers, Route 186 between George Wood and Four Bridges roads. We have an incident here in Westport. As I mentioned, this is 95 southbound, the exit 17 off ramp. And we're also apparently dealing with that crash in Norwalk. So basically right on the line there between exit 17 and 16. You can see the delays through the area. Rest of the state, very cold, potential for some freezing fog, some black ice. Live look at things slowing down in Hartford. Live look in Waterbury, Middletown, and Meriden. And your drive times and speeds, we are very, very slow going. We're approaching that 160-minute ride here, 95 southbound to the George Washington Bridge. So it's going to really impact that early morning commute. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, let's give you a live look now at our iCam through Bradley International Airport here in Windsor Locks, where it's going to be busy today.
Already, we've seen some amazing crowds. If you're catching a flight ahead of tomorrow's holiday, you're not alone. It is one of the busiest travel days of the year, and right now, it's one of the busiest times of the day at the airport.
Let's check in with Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Luke Hydash live at Bradley this morning. How's it looking there, Luke?
Caitlin, Tracy, good morning. We have just cleared that major hurdle. Bradley expected 4 to 7 a.m. to be the busiest time here, and boy, they hit the nail on the head. Here's a live look at the lines right now. All in all, not too bad, all things considered, being the day before Thanksgiving. Not going to take you too long to get through TSA if you are about to be at the airport or leaving your house and coming this way shortly. Not going to take you long to get through the lines. We are expecting another uptick a little bit later this afternoon between 3 and 5:30. That's the other time of day that Bradley says is the busiest. They had about 25 flights leaving Bradley this morning before 7:30 a.m., which means all those people should be boarded by now or are close to on the other side of TSA over at their gates waiting to get on their planes. You had about 3 million people expected to be screened by TSA today nationwide. Many of them, of course, here at Bradley, or at least it felt like this morning when those lines were super long. But the people we spoke to say, get here early and you'll be just fine.
Our son brought us here at 4:30, so we got here nice and early, just checked in at 5 o'clock, and now we're heading to the gate.
When you look over at the TSA line, what goes through your head?
Thank God we paid for the pre-TSA.
Yeah, the lines have definitely decreased since we talked to that woman about an hour and a half or so ago. Quick check on the board this morning here at Bradley shows just one delay. We're still dealing with that flight over to United that got delayed from 7:30 to 8:30, but all in all, smooth sailing so far for one of the busiest travel days of the year. We're live at Bradley. Luke Hydash, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
Well, this morning we're working to learn some more information about a garage fire in Willington. It happened earlier this morning. Here's what our crew saw when they first got to the scene a couple hours ago at that home on Willington Hill Road.
How that garage looks completely gutted. The fire chief tells us there were animals inside the garage, but thankfully they were not hurt and the people inside the house were not injured either. We're still working to learn more about how this fire started.
And right now we're working to learn exactly what led to a deadly crash in Plymouth. That's where police say 3 cars collided with a DOT truck on Route 72. Happened about 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. One woman was killed there. We're working to learn more about the victim. And of course, we'll bring you updates here on the air and on the WFSB app as soon as police share new information with us.
Well, this morning, 2 people are recovering after being rescued by Clinton fire officials. The rescue happened yesterday at the Kelsey Point break wall when a boat lost power and then started taking on water. We have this picture here we want to show you. 2 people were hurt, but thankfully they're expected to be okay.
New details this morning about the war in the Middle East from overnight. Israel and the Lebanon-based militant group Hezbollah began a ceasefire overnight, and this deal could be a major step toward ending nearly 14 months of fighting in that region.
So let's go ahead and break down what's included in this deal. United States officials helped negotiate it, and it calls for fighting to stop for 2 months. It also forces Israel's military to return to their side of the border, while Hezbollah must end its military presence in southern Lebanon.
The deal comes a day after Israel airstrikes in Lebanon killed more than 40 people. The ceasefire does not address the war in Gaza, where Hamas is still holding dozens of hostages. Well, DEEP is ending its statewide burn ban, and after more than 200 brush fires all around our state, Governor Lamont's emergency declaration will end on Monday.
Officials say this week's rain really has helped reduce that fire risk, and the governor is also giving volunteer fire departments more time to apply for financial help from the state to cover the costs of fighting those brush fires. Well, this morning, Enfield police are investigating a scam, and they're alerting you to it because someone has already fallen victim to it, losing thousands of dollars.
Listen to this. We're told a caller claiming to represent the FTC told the victim their account was flagged and linked to a money laundering scheme.
So to fix the error, police say the scammers told them to use Bitcoin to send $15,000. The
victim sent the money, then realized it was a scam. So police are reminding you the government will never request cash or Bitcoin.
Well, this morning, Connecticut teachers calling on state lawmakers to help them fight a teacher shortage. They say rising stress and burnout are causing more teachers to leave education.
And according to that new survey, it's leading to overcrowded classrooms. Many feel raising the starting salary for teachers could help retain and recruit new ones.
Passion is truly what keeps education in business. Although we're forever grateful for the worth that we feel for seeing our students succeed, this doesn't pay off our student loans. This doesn't pay our insurances or our rent or our card payments or put food on the table for ourselves and our families.
The survey also showed student discipline and behavior in the classroom are playing a role in the teacher shortage.
Happening today, giving back to people in the capital city ahead of Thanksgiving.
Organizers with Angel of Edgewood are hosting a community breakfast this morning. The nonprofit will provide free hot meals to families who need them in the Charter Oak Health Community Room at Duncan Park.
Very nice. It all starts at 10 o'clock this morning.
All right, good morning, everyone. As you can see, already parts of New England under a winter storm watch. Not so fast, Connecticut, though. We're expecting mainly rain, but let's talk about travel weather today. We're going to see conditions improving this morning, a little bit of patchy black ice, but give it a couple more hours, temperatures will warm up. So by 10 o'clock, great travel conditions across the Northeast. No worries there. Today, temperatures, not bad at all for this time of year. It's going to be obviously for Thanksgiving. That's when the woes start for traveling, and you can see look at that. Rain pretty much all day long. So just pack your patience when you hit the road tomorrow if you're going to be traveling. And just know that it's primarily wet. Now, there's just a small chance for a little bit of snow. We'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later. Kate?
All right, it's time to show off your holiday light displays.
We're starting to see them go up across the state, and we want to see your holiday decorations too. So send in your photos to the WFSB app, and we'll start sharing them on air next week.